Hey guys, Crystal Thompson here. Today we're going to begin with making our gorgeous cut cloud card. So let's begin. We're going to search on the Maker's Gonna Learn, and we're going to be using the cut files. I have typed cloud, and I have downloaded cloud 4 and cloud 5, and I saved these to my desktop. Also, we are using one of the fonts. We are going to be using Passion. Let me show you what this looks like. It's actually really pretty. Let me pull that up, and it's a gorgeous, very clean font that you can use for a ton of different stuff. So there you have it. I have downloaded it and installed it to my computer. So we're going to go back over to our canvas, and we are going to begin by creating our card panel. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to grab our shape, we're going to do square, we're going to bring it in, and what we're actually going to do, we're going to unlock right here, and we're going to change the sizing. So I want to create an A4 size. That way I can buy my envelopes ready to go and not have to create an envelope. And we're going to change the height to 550 and then width to 4¼ inches. And this is an A4 size card. So I'm going to change the color here just for the purposes of our tutorial. And so we have it ready to go. We're going to lock it up so we don't lose the shape of that. Now we are going to bring in the cloud. So I'm going to bring in cloud 4, and I have already inserted the image from my desktop. And we're going to size this down. And the way we're going to do this is just going to bring it down and really place it where you want it and what size do you want. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Move it just a little bit. We are going to come in and we're going to select both. Then we're going to slice. And what that's going to do, that's going to cut that cloud out from our card. And now you have, it's going to cut out really nicely right here from our design space. So we're going to bring in another one. I'm going to do the same one we had earlier. Okay. Oh, we brought 2 in, but we'll just size it down and see. Okay. Well, I guess it's not going to let us do that. Let's try that again. All right, so we have the same cloud that we had brought in earlier. So what we're going to do, we're going to size this down. We are going to flip. That way it just changes the direction of the cloud itself. Shape it down. Now that that's there, we're going to select these 2 things and slice. And then you're going to repeat the same process that we did with that first cloud, using the different clouds that you want and then removing all those pieces. All right, so we are done with our cloud. Now we're going to come in with our text, and this is where we're going to include the passion. So I'm going to type hi. We're going to bring it up to the top corner of our card, and then we're going to select fonts. And you want to go to system, and I'm going to type passion. So it's going to pull it up, and it's going to change it. And then we're going to go ahead and click make it. So what's going to happen, it's going to separate these 2 layers. So we're going to select this high. You see those 3 little dots. We're going to click on that. We're going to move to another mat, and we're going to select mat 2. And what that's going to do is going to cut everything together. Now we're just going to go ahead and grab it and move it to our selected space. And then you can see all your cut lines are ready to go. So we're going to continue. We're going to cut with our machine and do this on white cardstock. All right, guys, so we have our cut file, and look, this is what it looks like once it's all cut. Look how pretty that is. It's super stunning, and now we are ready to start blending. So if we did this properly, we're gonna have our card base, and we were talking about this is a A4 card base, so this is gonna fit really nicely right in the center of our card, and it's going to allow for a white border. So for this, you're going to need a couple of distress inks, and you can use these, or if you have just a regular dye ink, so water-based inks, you can totally do the same effect. So for these colors, we're using Seedless Preserves, Picked Raspberry, Cracked Pistachio, Broken China, and Twisted Citron. You're also going to be needing some ink blenders, and I am just using some makeup blenders that you can get at Walmart. You're going to need a little bit of foam adhesive, and you're also going to be needing a pair of scissors. I am using my Cricut scissors. So let's get started. All right, guys, so I have my card base ready to go. So I'm going to fold it just so I don't get any color on it. And then I'm going to be using my die cut that we had previously just to know where we're going. We're going to begin with the Distress Oxide and Seedless Preserve. This is just a really pretty purple. And we are going to begin at the top. And we're just going to blend these colors. And like I said, you can use anything you've got for inks. If you prefer to use these, you totally can, but it is not necessary when you're doing some ink blending. You do want to be able to do this on a surface that you can clean off. I do want to give you that disclosure there, especially when you're doing it directly onto some cardstock. And so we are going to ink blend all the way to the edge. And when you're using these makeup brushes, you can just wipe them off on a baby wipe. So I do get my baby wipes from Costco, and I buy them by the buckets full because one, I do a lot of ink blending, which makes it super easy to do backgrounds, and then also I have to wipe lots of baby bottoms. So anyways, with that being said, you can clean them off. So I like to clean them off, set them aside, and then move on to the next one. All right, so back to the project. I'm going to move on to my blue. And this blue is called Broken China. And so we are going to grab our color. And we're going to bring that in. And you know what's really funny is when you blend this Broken China with that pink, that picked raspberry, it makes a really pretty purpley shade. So as you blend, you will see those colors blend. So it's really fun. It doesn't have to be the specific rainbow in any way. I just thought these bright colors with some beautiful rainbow cut files with the cloud cut files would be really pretty. All right, gonna move on to Cracked Pistachio. This is kind of like a minty green. So I'm gonna grab my color. And honestly, I am just using 2 brushes for this. So you don't have to totally have a ton of brushes. Just be sure you clean them off in between your colors. So we are going to blend this down. Okay. And then we are going to grab our Twisted Citron, which is a really bright green. We're going to grab the color. And now we're going to blend that green Twisted Citron to that Cracked Pistachio. So we're going to blend the whole bottoms of this, make it really dark at the bottom, and then blend up. So I love doing these super quick cards, and honestly, you could change the sentiment from high to anything else you like. I'm going to clean off my brush, and I'm going to come back with that Broken China and blend those just a little bit more. Okay. And then we're going to do a little more ink blending. If you're using these Distress Oxides, you can totally add splatters of water just to give it an effect. And if you're not, you're just using a regular dye ink, they will still react to the water. So we're going to grab that. We're going to grab more of that Cracked Pistachio. And the great thing about ink blending is that you can keep making this darker and darker and darker, or really change up the hues of your colors if that's what you choose to do. So there we go. I feel like we have a nice gradient between all these colors, so we can start assembling our card. All right, guys, so we're gonna let this dry and we're gonna move on to our cut files. So I have it ready to go. We're gonna set this ink blending aside. I'm gonna flip this over and let me show you. So I started adding foam pieces, and I'm using a foam roll. This is double-sided foam adhesive. I got this from Amazon. You can get it anywhere, really, even the dollar store. So you can make it really affordable. And if you don't have access to the store, you can use regular foam. Just use a tape runner on both sides and you've got foam. All right, so I've added all my pieces of foam. We're gonna remove the backing and we're gonna place it on our card base. All right, so I have my thing ready to go. Simply what we're gonna do, we're just gonna flip this over and we're gonna try to center it as much as possible because it is gonna have some of the edging show. And we're gonna place it down. You can even flip it over and really just give it a nice little massage in the bag to get the whole foam to stick. And there you have it. It's a very simple, really quick way to make a cheerful card using ink blending. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial using some of the files from the Maker's Gonna Learn. Have an awesome day.